good to be here. It's an honor to play for the BBC. You might ask yourself, why me? I guess they tested dozens of Belgian comedians and I came out cheapest. So... And I'm about to talk about Brexit. Yay! Are you ready to get political, Brussels? Yes, that's what you feel like right now, isn't it? No, but because it's coming up, and I was asked to, basically. But yeah, as you well know, 52% of Britons voted to leave the EU some time ago. And are there any Brits here? Yeah. All right. I'm not going to ask you if you voted leave or remain. I'm just going to say, if you're a typical average Brit, chances of you enjoying the following few minutes are 48%. But first of all, I want to say I understand the Brits that voted leave. Okay, I understand you want Brussels out of your country. I mean, most Belgians want Brussels out of their country too. It's true. We want Brexit, damn it, that's what we want. Because, I mean, for me even, it's sometimes hard here in Brussels to communicate, you know, because I'm from the north, so I speak Dutch. And here in Brussels, they don't speak Dutch, and I don't speak Arabic, so it's very hard to communicate. So I want to say I understand you, Brits, but I think that this feud with Brexit, it's going too far. You know, it's for me, it's like living in a new political reality. Because Brexit, the referendum, was a long time ago, mentally. It was pre-Trump. Remember? Remember those days, pre-Trump? Wow, you know, when journalists reported on facts instead of tweets, you know, remember? And today we live in an era that's called by scientists fact-free politics. That means the facts don't matter anymore. Facts today are treated like opinions and opinions like facts. That's scary, because if you can't win a debate based on facts anymore, then any political debate becomes like an argument with you and your girlfriend over the thermostat at home, you know? It's not about facts, it's about feelings. You get home and it's cold and you go like, I'll put it on 22, and she goes, put it on 40. Honey, the house warms up at the same speed. I'm cold, I'll put it on 40, whatever. You know? Fact-free politics, that's scary. And the first time for me a big event happened in the world that wasn't based on facts was with Brexit. When the day after the referendum, half of the UK woke up going like, wait, what just happened? And those were the guys who voted leave, you know? Because nobody saw it coming. Not even the politicians who organized it. That became obvious because none of those politicians had a plan for Brexit. You know, all the guys, David Cameron on the one side, Nigel Farage, Boris Johnson, they all announced they were going to move on to do different things, you know? Nigel Farage said, I'm going to make more time for my family now. Really? That's the equivalent of walking into a crowded elevator, farting, pushing all the buttons, and briskly walking out going, job done. Move on. What? They had no plan. And all of a sudden, it wasn't even urgent anymore, you know? The whole campaign felt like the UK shouting at Europe, I'm leaving you, Europe! The next day, Europe went, you're still here then? Well, it's not that urgent anymore now, is it? It felt a bit like an argument between a drunk couple, you know? He's shouting, I'm leaving you, woman! She goes, well, get the hell out there then! I'm going, see me walking, I'm leaving. Oh, it's raining, I might stay inside a little longer now. A small child clenching its mom's leg. I want to stay with mum. You're coming with dad, Scotland. I want to stay. Scotland wanted to stay in the EU. The Scots were the sensible ones. Who would have thought that ever happened? The Scots, of all people. Sure, I'll drink your 80% alcohol and have some haggis for breakfast, but when it comes to politics, I put on my thinking cap. Really? That's... What? That was my Scottish accent, by the way. Deal with it. I mean, I'm Belgian. Yeah, whatever. No, but the Scots, man. The Scots even voted to stay in the UK. Remember? The Scots were sober for 1 day. 1 day! And they gave away their independence forever. The Scots wanted to remain in the EU. Theresa May wouldn't allow it. Theresa May said in a speech, which is beautiful in its irony, you should look it up on YouTube. She said, "I will never let divisive nationalists drive us apart. We will leave the European Union as one united union." That is a level of irony that even Shakespeare would go like, "That doth be too much for me, sir." It's beautiful, man. But I was scared by Brexit because of the anger in the Brexit vote. You know, many people were angry, and that led to the Brexit referendum. People were so angry, the urge for disruption was bigger than the need for stability. The urge for disruption was bigger than the need for stability. That was scary for me for the first time. So I was angry at Brexit as well, because it affects us all. I mean, you can trick your citizens into believing that we all live in our separate, isolated countries. The truth is, we live in a globalized world. Everything and everyone is connected. If London crashes, we crash as well. So this affects us as well here in Belgium. And I mean, this is going to cost us money even. The day after Brexit, the stock markets in the world crashed by 7 to 10%. 7 to 10%. We lost $2 trillion of worth that day. 2,000 billion. 2,000 billion. And you're all looking at me like, that's not so much, Michael, is it? You know why it doesn't sound like much, 2,000 billion? Because of the unit of measurement, billion. Anything with billion, you go like, not my problem. It's true. 100 euros, that's a lot of money. 100 billion, not my problem. Whatever. It's true. Unit of measurement. Yeah, it's important. It's just a... It's billion, you know. 2,000 billion, not so much. 2,000 refugees, that's a bit much. You see, different unit of measurement. And but it is a lot, you know. So I was angry at all of the Brits the day after the referendum, which was silly of me, of course. But I remember driving on the highway, and every British license plate I saw, I was going like, "There's another one of them Brexit bastards." And every time I passed the car, I was staring angrily at the empty passenger seat on the left-hand side of the driver. I was angry. Because it wasn't based on facts. The outcome was based on something you see more and more in the West, and also in Belgium, by the way, a sort of nationalist nostalgia. A nostalgia for days gone by. You see it in Trump's "Make America Great Again." And the slogan for Brexit was, "Take our country back again." Of course, you Brits, because you've been colonized and invaded by so many empires, haven't you? Time to take your country back again. Boris Johnson said it in a speech. Boris Johnson said, "We shall call Brexit our Independence Day." That's a bit rude, isn't it? Considering that the rest of the world uses the words Independence Day to celebrate their independence from Great Britain. All right? In fact, if you're listening to the BBC World Service in an English-speaking country and you have a little thing called sunshine, congratulations, you're one of those countries. America, Australia, Canada, India, Pakistan, Nigeria, New Zealand, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and 50 other countries celebrate on their Independence Day, the joyful day those hordes of plundering, drunken Britons finally left their countries alone, you know? Imagine present-day Mallorca at the end of holiday season. That scene. Their mummy, they've gone. We can finally start rebuilding again, you know? That. Independence Day. We also want an Independence Day. That would be like Germany going, "We also want a Liberation Day." You can't have one, all right? Go away. And how rude would it be to have an Independence Day in the whole of the UK, including Northern Ireland? Can you imagine a little pub in Belfast, you know, people going, "Hey, Paddy, what you celebrating? Independence Day." "Really, Paddy?" "No, not really, no." "Someday maybe, eh? Edinburgh, Independence Day." But I don't care, you know, I'm a Belgian. Let them finally be free, Britons. Throw off your shackles so you can finally do things your way. You could start by using a different currency from the rest of the whole of Europe, for example. Finally, you could pay with your pounds and your guinea pigs or whatever, you know? Finally. You want to drive on the opposite side of the road from the rest of the whole of Europe? Now you can. Wait. You want to ignore the metric system and go back to measuring stuff with your feet and your stones? Now you can. Be free. Finally. But people, like I said, I don't care. I'm Belgian, so let the Brits that want to leave the EU on one condition. Take Boris Johnson with you. And on that day, the rest of us Europeans can finally celebrate our European Independence Day. Thank you very much.